Hag Sameach, everyone. Preparing for Passover is stressful at the best of times. After weeks of cleaning frenzies that border on obsessive compulsive, we bring in blowtorches to kosher our stoves and cooking surfaces. We then buy truckloads of food that during any other time of year would last for a month, but we somehow know will only last days into the week. Then we spend almost a full week cooking, preparing elaborate seders for our extended family. Many of us are joined by friends and neighbors as we dust off special Passover dish sets that are hauled up from our basements for 1 week out of the entire year. But despite the physical challenge of preparation, the Jewish people have come to find that this rigorous exercise helps us to prepare mentally for the holiday, to appreciate the importance of the place that the festival holds within Judaism, and allows us to experience the holiday as a time of rebirth and renewal. Of course, this year, everything is quite different. With everybody home all the time, it is hard enough to keep a pace with our own daily messes, let alone complete a proper and thorough Pesach cleaning job. At least, this has been my experience. Elaborately prepared seders seem to so many of us a bit of a waste of time, energy, and precious resources, especially considering that nobody will be joining us. And worse still, as we reflect on these difficult times, as we think about those who are sick, as some of us suffer economic losses, and as we all cry out from our isolation, it seems all but impossible to find the mental space to feel any sense of rebirth or renewal this year, as God intended this holiday to be for us. In my Dvar Torah last week, I half-laughingly suggested that at our Seders this year, in addition to the 4 usual questions, we should all be asking, why is this Passover different from all other Passovers? As I prepared the words, I thought, in my own head, that it was a not too distastefully dark attempt at humor. But upon further reflection, I think I would like to offer this very same idea as a serious consideration for us all. Please, let us all add this question to our 4 questions. I'm not suggesting that this should be inscribed in our Haggadot to be a tradition for years to come, but rather just this year, we have 5 questions at all of our Seders. I would also like to suggest this to be the answer. This Passover is different from all other Passovers because it must be. This night is truly different because we feel its strangeness most strongly. It is different in order to protect our own lives, as well as those of our family, our friends, our neighbors, our fellow Torontonians, Canadians, and indeed, fellow members of planet Earth. But this Passover is different from all other Passovers also because it has the chance to teach us one of the most important lessons we can possibly learn, one which rarely finds an opportunity to challenge us with over the course of each of our lives. This Passover, we take a moment to really appreciate those things in our lives that we may have taken for granted, whatever that may be. Whether it was going to the movies, playing team sports, or watching team sports, grabbing a Starbucks with a special friend, something as simple as hugging your grandchildren, or whatever else we did in that long lost before time that we are really missing now. Now we remember that Passover is the festival of Thanksgiving. This night, we learn what it feels like to really appreciate those things and remember how much they added to our lives. We remember that the Passover Seder itself was meant to historically be an ancient Greek-styled symposium on the subject of being thankful. We all, in our own ways, owe it to ourselves as Jews to use this moment in all of its tragedy for what the world is struggling with, to allow it to teach us the true meaning of gratitude. Tonight, we discover new understanding as we retell the story of our ancient Israelite ancestors who were grateful to God as they celebrated their freedom from slavery. Tonight, and for all nights, we learn to better understand what it means to be grateful to God for the things that we have. As Pesach approaches, my blessing for all of us is that despite its challenges, that we let our festival this year indeed be the festival of rebirth and renewal. That when our old lives return, and let us pray that they return speedily, let us return to them with renewed hearts and minds and a reborn spirit of gratitude. Chag Kasher v'Sameach.